Peace and love, family and friends, naysayers, whomever. My name is Leon Wheeler Jr., and this is Master Making in Motion. In today's brief talk, I can't get God out of my system. Wow. Here is a man who claimed to be a God in human form. That'd be I. That'd be me. Here's the man that believed that you all are gods, made in the image and likeness of a creator God, a creator God, or the universe, or intelligence, what have you. So, I guess the $1,000,000 question is why I believe in God? Why do I choose to believe in God? And I know a lot of you may be saying to yourself, oh, he don't believe in God. Can't. He ain't a Christian. He ain't a Muslim. He's an atheist. Far from the truth. I believe in God, no doubt. Without a doubt, I don't see God the way most of my kinfolks do, or most of my brother men, most of the way society has dictated for us to see God. I don't see God that way. And I'm grateful that I don't, for me. And I don't want to say sad for you, because everybody comes into their own at their own time, in their own time. And what's for you may not be for me. So I don't claim to have an absolute fact or truth about anything. I'm a student striving to learn as much as I can and to implement what I feel is best for me individually. And if I find something that works for my spirit and my soul that motivates me, I want to share it with what I love, who I love, and that's humanity. So I share my thoughts with you all because I care. So why do I believe in God? Well, because I want to, because I choose to. I am motivated by this idea of what I want to call is intellect, supreme intellect. What I strive to accomplish for myself is to have some insight, some intellectual understanding, to not, I deal with logic and a lot of reasoning. That's how I try to live my life. That's how I live my life. I deal with what I perceive to be something that's concrete, that's as factual as possible. Now, I know I'm not going to be able to answer all questions, nor do I try. That's not my job. But I definitely go out my way to make sense of what I believe can be made sense of. And I'm going to be honest, and this is going a little different from where I started to. I anticipated. I've always asked, well, it came a time in my life when I started asking myself, how do intellectual people, some of the smartest individuals on the face of earth that I've had the pleasure of, I guess, observing from afar, intellectuals on television, uh, smart people, period. People who, some of these preachers with possibly mega churches, or even a little family church, you know, or what have you. Individuals that I perceive to be intellectually astute. Black people, primarily, and no, people in general, because some of the most, some of the smartest people, along with my traditional belief system, my black people, I've seen a lot of Europeans and Asians and Indians, a lot of humanity with intellect to me that is far above the norm. And for the most part, I consider myself to be normal. So I'm not in their bracket. So I ask myself, how do they believe in a God? You know, trying to make sense out of this because this is what everything that I do is about making sense and applying it in a way and learning how to share it in a way where the youngsters can derive power and inspiration from it. But it has to make sense to me in order for it to really work. I don't think just because you tell a good story, fantastic story, that that will be enough. So why do I believe in God? Because I want to. I desire to. I desire. Well, I guess the second reason, the first is I want to. I want to believe in a God. I can't prove it. It's not my job. I don't think that no one can disprove it. I don't think that. I just don't believe it. So I think it's a faith-based situation. It's what you believe, and that's the word believe. The second thing is, again, speaking about intellectuals or intelligence, I can't, with my small understanding, human mindset, striving to be in tune and connected to. Uh, anyway, striving to uh, connect to what's feasible from a mental standpoint, what makes sense. I can't not see a God or anything in creation that has been developed or created or made or whatever way you want to title it or speak upon it. I can't see anything that was thought of without some divine intelligence behind it. Well, it's not divine, just intelligence. You know, and this is from from a mental standpoint, from a human being standpoint. The pen, the foam, uh, cars, planes, appliances at your house, intellect, writing books, learning about certain subject, intellect, intelligence is behind that. So for me, without a doubt, to believe that this beautiful tapestry, all of the flowers and the gourmet, the beauty in the universe has to be something intellectually or some intelligence has to be behind it to put it into in its makeup. That's my belief. I don't believe that we can have such a complicated structure, system, society, universe, universes without intellect behind it. Now, we choose to call it that intellect God. I don't know if that's the right name for it, but this is the name that I use because this is a name we've become accustomed to. And it fits. It's okay. It'll do to make the point. It'll do to communicate with my constituents, constituency, and my friends, family, naysayers, whomever. It'll do. So we call it God. Gender, more than likely genderless. So we can call God he, she, whatever. But intelligence, consciousness, force, power. They say be or I am. So I choose to believe in God. Can't see a God without or an existence of a God, seeing that we have so much that exists. So I can't not believe in God because of what I see, what I've been privileged to participate in, to accomplish, struggle with, Again, I don't see God the way, I don't see a God that intervenes. Logic suggests to me that doesn't compute. But if that helps an individual, and I'm not saying that that's not the possibility, does it make sense? Not what, not in the manner in which we speak about God. I think they would call it deism, 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 or deistic, deist. Uh, you got agnostics, and you got theists, and you got atheists, and you got spirituality, you got religion. I'm spiritual. Probably hold some view to deist, uh, because I don't see a God that's hand to hand doing things, because that's the contrary. But intelligence made this, no doubt. And with that, the Big Bang and all that, there still had to be a force to put this into operation, to put this in motion. Intelligence, the things that goes on in our physical makeup, in body structures, breathing, uh, blood circulating through the body, and all the things, how the body protects itself and does the things. That's intellect. That's a form of intelligence to me. So intellect had to be behind that. So I believe that. But again, I don't believe in a God that bless some, take blessings from some, give blessings. I don't see it that way. But I definitely believe in God. So if anybody see this, if anybody want to question my belief, I've just given it to you. Can't get God out of my system. I don't think it's possible. So I believe in God. I guess the third thing that motivates me with the subject matter is this divine intellect, this intelligence is something that I strive to obtain for myself. So I cherish it. I adore it. I take my hat off to it, or her, or him, or it. However, God. And it gives me inspiration. It inspires me to be better, to be my best, intellectually. And I believe if I can intellectually get myself together, at least to a certain uh, plateau, if I can get myself to a certain degree of understanding of at least myself, because that's what I always say that I want to master is self. Because I do believe that the self and the extended creation is all one. I don't believe there's really no separation. The separation is in our understanding. So I'm striving to get there, to understand me, and to be totally in tune with me. And once I do that, to me, everything else will fall right in line because we're one, made up of the same structures, the same makeup, with the same potentials for the most part. So studying me is studying the whole. And I've been studying me for quite some time. And this is what I strive to master. And mastering that is, to me, coming and becoming in tune with the Creator and to adore, to give thanks, homage, pay homage. And that's what I do, to recognize it as the creator of intellect across the board. All intellect, is consciousness, highest degree of consciousness, that's God. And again, I choose this. This is what I choose. Now, dealing with all of this, I come to me as a master, striving to be a master, the subject matter that connects to this all. And I'm sure I'm going to be talking about this on some level. I have to. Is a leadership, and I want to be a leader over me, first and foremost. Not allowing the outside intelligence or the persuasion of those individuals who've tampered with or created doctrines and ideologies and dogma for us to. That's a creator. That's that creative force too, being utilized from an outside force to control. So I want to fight that and become the leader over myself. And with that said, leadership becomes a very, very, very important factor in my life. Being the leader that I want, that I wouldn't mind following for myself, that I perceive to be realistic. It's not motivated by, I guess, greed, selfishness, control. A leadership that, you know, propels and push and demonstrate and inspire us to think for ourselves, to think outside the box, to challenge ourselves. Some of the teachings of Buddhism, I mean, I don't perceive Buddhism to be a religion, but they're trying to lump it in as a religion. It was because the Buddha didn't believe in a physical God or, I guess, all-knowing God that had his hand. And this is what Buddhism said: "Be a light unto thyself." That's what the Buddha's supposed to say. Gautama. So I believe in that. I don't believe that was a religion, and I believe the Buddha never told no one what to do. He just said, "Well, this is what worked for him, and if you can get some good out of it," he suggested you did. He did with Dukam. He did with a lot of, I guess, terminology that it was enlightening. And again, I don't believe it's a religion. I believe it's some form of a spirituality. I would like to call it. I'm into spirituality, and I want to lead by example, and I want to learn and follow until I become totally physically embodied in my belief system, being that of a master. I look to pull from all areas of inspiration, even from man-made, which doctrine. I go into the Bible if something in there can inspire and motivate. I don't follow it in totality, but I understand it. I understand some of the blessings out of it because I believe all of it comes from a beginning source, the intellect. And the first people who were studying these things were, I believe, without a doubt, was people from the region, geographical location called Africa. Akabula, whatever name you want to, and what particular region in Africa, I don't know, maybe we say Kemet. But I don't know, but I believe these first people could be Ethiopia. I don't know, and what even these names has changed many, many times. So we use terminology to keep us on the same page. But again, back to leadership. Leadership is important to me, and I have to, and I don't mean to be pointing fingers more or less, but I, when I was incarcerated, I always had a problem with leadership in a lot of the organizations that I was privy to explore, to see, to engage with. And to me, all the leadership has always been somewhat poor. And it's been, I guess, somewhat of a control mechanism. It's utilized to control the masses. And that's what I see today. I see a lot of the leadership, to me, is very weak. And I think that's one of the biggest problems that we get. We're following poor leadership. And most of the leadership is pretty much force fed to us by traditions or whatever, what have you. Or it could just be some individuals in the back manipulating the situation and suggesting that we do certain things. That's a great possibility. whatever the reason is, leadership is important. And if we don't have strong leadership, I don't see the possibilities of us. We haven't changed our conditions in my whole 60 years, 61 years soon to be. It hasn't changed, and the leadership has, you know, I mean, it seems like it's been getting weaker and weaker. Information is becoming more broad, but we're becoming weaker and becoming more divided. So I'm coming to you as raw as I know how, not trying to offend, but trying to make. I just want you to think. So leadership is a thing, and I'm going to question a lot of today's leadership. And I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna wrap it up. One of my primary goals is to give back to our youth. To help. I want to inspire young men to make better decisions that I made. So I got to do this by utilizing new thought process. I'm not going to keep saying the same thing that didn't work for me, and I know it didn't work for me because I landed in penitentiary. I've been shot all up. I know what I did and how I got to where, that led me to where I ended up at. And I know where I'm at now and what I'm doing now. So what I'm bringing to the platform is non-traditional. It's against what it's not pacification. It's not. I'm not preaching to you. This is not no butterball, soft, tender, cotton candy, sweet to your taste lingo. This is some challenging stuff that I'm doing. And honestly, I feel that what I'm bringing to you can possibly cause me to lose my life because of the way we are. Because if I don't believe like you do, I become a threat to you. And they're not that what I'm saying has some validity to it, and somebody could possibly be woke with it. That's really a problem. This is where I'm at. So I'm going to challenge leadership. I'm going to challenge the brothers that's standing in those positions, that's smiling and suggesting that you do this and do that and talking about, some cream puff stuff. And I'm not saying all brothers got it, have bad intention. We need as much, hey, do what you got to do. And if it's helpful, and it's, but learn to appreciate the non-traditional stuff too. Learn to be open to somebody else's approach that's opposite yours. And if you don't feel like, I'm throwing a rock into a pile, into a yard, into a whole area filled with, hey, whoever the rock hit, if you holler, then, hey, I'm here for us. And I don't want to say by hook crook, but by any means necessary. We had some great teachers that came and was killed. Those that was possibly had the best to offer usually are shut down, killed, false charges put on them. And we rally behind those individuals who put this false narrative out, and then we help them crucify our leaders, possible leaders, and then after they're gone, they glorify them and or put them on a pedestal, and then we follow suit, and then now we love them. So, again, I don't want to stay here long. I just wanted to tell you that I can't get God out of my system. I love God. I am God. You are God. Not the God who created the orbits, the universes. Well, I'm not there. Nor are you. But we are definitely connected to that intellect. And we are creating each and every day. And I can't get that out of my system. And I don't want to. I'm not. And I suggest you don't either. And I suggest you strive to become the greatest thinker that you can be the best intellectual human being that's beneficial for you to vibrate on your plane. So study self, study to improve. I suggest that you pay homage to that energy by aligning yourself with it and stop trying to go against it. And I ask that you question your leadership abilities and look to some other individuals, such as myself, that has an orthodox way of doing things. But I'm sure you can see the sincerity in my heart and hear it in my voice when I speak to you. If I said anything that was beneficial to you or somebody you know, I ask that you share it with them because that's how I can get the channel to grow. We have to share. I ask that you like, and I beg that you give a comment. Tell me what you think. If you disagree, tell me why you disagree. If you agree, tell me why you agree. Please leave a comment. Please share it. Share, 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 share. You know, I share because I care. And I ask you to share because you care. And you may be sharing something today. You know, put a thumb down, like or dislike. But give some attention to the channel, please, so that it can grow. And that algorithm, they'll see the thumbs up and thumbs down, and they're able to send this channel to more people who may be interested in what I have to say. And lastly, I ask that you subscribe to the channel. With always and as always, I suggest that you be the example that you want to see in the world. I ask that you simply be.